February 23rd, 2022. Talk to you a little bit today about some stuff we've been talking about here as far as prepping wise. How many people that watch this is prepared if you couldn't go to the store anymore? You couldn't go anywhere. What you have is what you have. On hand, that's all you're having. That's it. How long could most of y'all make it? A week, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months, a year? Now, the average American family keeps enough food in their house maybe to last 2 to 4 weeks, iffy. Now we're not talking about 3 meals a day. We're talking about just enough to get 1 meal a day to eat if you rationed it out. Now I've been talking to you about water. Water, it takes a lot of space to store water. A lot of space. Doesn't matter if it's in the bottles, the jugs, 50-gallon drums, above ground containers, whatever. It takes a lot of space to store water. That's why the Sawyer mini filter, that's why stuff like that's important. You need a way to filter water and everything, once everything goes bad. Or if you're just out hiking, fishing, or hunting, you should always carry some type of water filter in your pack and on you, and keep one in your vehicle. But to get back to the food, I don't know very many people personally that has enough food in their house. If everything went bad today, they call it SHTF. If that happened today, that could make it for a long-term situation on food. I don't know many people. We've told you about getting the 5-gallon buckets, the Mylar bags, the dry goods, storing them up. Guys, it's getting to the point of when you go to the store, they may have what you're wanting that day. If you go back a couple days later, they may not have it, and they may not be getting it in anytime soon. We're going to see a crop shortage this year, a grain shortage and everything due to the cost of fertilizers. Fertilizers have shot up so much in price, and that's also going to affect your chicken plants, your chicken people who raise chickens, your beef, and all that, because the grain that they feed them, that's going to go up. And they're talking about some kind of flu or something going on in the chickens right now. So every week there's something going on, if you pay attention to it, that's going to cause a shortage. The stuff over in Russia and Ukraine going on could possibly affect us because of the Ukraine produces a lot of grain in that area. So guys, you've got to start taking this seriously. You've got to start putting food up. You got to start storing food and water and ways to purify the water. Now that could be, our local grocery store every week has canned food, 2 for $1 for a canned food. And every now and then you'll catch it 3 for $1. Now you can buy that and store it up. Guys, you've got to start taking this seriously. You've got to start storing food. Time's running out for this. We're fixing to have this trucker convoy here in the United States. I'm not sure how big of a disruption that will have, because when you see these protests like up in Canada, that is owner-operators. Owner-operators, they move freight, yes they do, but the major people that move freights are big companies, big trucking companies, with their drivers or their employees. They're not striking with these guys, so freight's going to still be moving. Don't believe this. Oh, we're going to see a shortage because the truckers strike. Now, if the truck drivers that are company drivers joined it, yeah, we would see chaos within a day or two, because nothing would be moving. Guys, you've got to start putting food up. You've got to start having ways of purifying water. Tax season is coming up. Buy you a filter. Buy you a water filter. Buy you up some food. Put it up if you're getting a refund. When all this was going on the last 2 years, we started seeing shortages at the shelf, and they were saying, well, it's due to people being out of work, or mom and pop stores closing. They can't open up. The shortage is everywhere. It's not just here. Now the shipping containers that they now don't talk about no more, they're still sitting out there waiting to get unloaded. Just now they've moved them further out to sea, so technically they're not counted as waiting to come in and be unloaded. But they're still sitting there, guys. They are still sitting out there. How much food and water do you think you need to get through a year? Let's say 1 year. Now, are we talking 3 meals a day, 2 meals a day, 1 meal a day? When everything goes bad, SHTF happens. That means you have what you have on hand. You're not going to go to the store and get nothing else. That also means you're going to be doing a lot more physical activity, which means you're going to be burning a lot more calories. You're not going to be hopping in your car and, driving over to see your neighbors. You're going to be walking everywhere you go because you're not going to have fuel eventually if everything goes bad. You need to figure out for your family, if you're a family of 2, 3, 4, whatever size your family is, you need to figure out how much food you need for a year. Sit down and figure it up. Come up with a price, what you can afford to spend, and start buying. Start buying it up. You don't have to buy it all at once, which with everything going on, I would buy as much as humanly possible to buy when it comes to food. You need to stack it to the rafters, and that means as much as you can get it piled up. Dried beans, rice, salt, sugar, all that kind of stuff, noodles, grains, anything, get it stored up. Because guys, eventually here it's going to get bad. It may be tomorrow, it may be a year from now, it may be 2 years from now. A SHTF event does not necessarily mean something happens in the world. You could lose your job, you could have an accident, anything could happen, and that's one less worry you have. I hear a lot of people, well, I don't want to buy all that food and not ever use it. You rotate your food. You keep your you rotate it so you're always having fresh. And that confuses me. Is why would you feel that you're buying it to never use it? Guys, you rotate it. And then you also have a surplus of it if you need it. If you can't get it, you've got it there. You don't have to go nowhere to get it. Guys, times are, y'all can see it. Most people my age has always felt like something huge is going to happen in our generation, Look what's going on in the world. Look what's going on at your local grocery stores. Gas is going to go up now that this stuff's going on over in Russia, so I would store some gas if you could. Now, gas doesn't store that long. You might get 6 months to a year out of it if you store it. And if pure gas is the best to store if you can find it in your area. The ethanol gas, it's not that good to store. It don't stay fresh that long. 6 months, maybe a year if you put the Stay-Bill in it or something like that. I'm not sure. Regular gas is the way to go if you're going to store it. And you hear all these people, well, I've got a deep freezer full of meat. I'm good. I'm ready to go if the world goes down. If you don't have a way to power that freezer when the power's out, what good's that meat? Think about that. You need a generator, a solar generator. But like I've said before, eventually, if everything goes bad, there's not going to be no gas. Eventually, if it's long enough, your battery system on your solar system is going to go out. They're not lifetime expectancy of your whole life, 10, 15 years, maybe 20 on some of the newer ones. But them batteries, guys, they're expensive. Just look them up. Look how expensive batteries are. I know I kind of rambled in this one, but guys, get out there and get you some food. Get it stocked up. Stack it to the rafters. Get you a water filtration unit. And guys, just always be prepared. If you haven't liked the channel, please like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Comment down below. Good or bad, doesn't matter. The more interaction I have, the better the channel gets seen. So I want to thank everyone who has subscribed in the last few days. And we're going to keep growing this channel. We'll have some more videos up. Any video you'd like to see, just comment down below. And if it's capable of us doing it, we'll do it. And if I can't do it, I can send you somewhere on here that someone can. Prepper Nurse 1, Pinball Preparedness, the Prepared Homestead, Prepper Talk. I mean, the list goes on and on. Angry Prepper, MD Creekmore. Y'all check them out too. Good channels. Good channels. Everyone have a good day.